I have the Dictionary of Latin and Greek Origins, and I think I'm going to do that one separately. And I have the Word Study Concordance, and I have the American Dictionary of the English Language by Noah Webster, the 1828. And so what I'm going to discuss with y'all is arcane, to rule, begin, and then also it's arc. That's how it appears. So, and we see that in a bunch of different words. So, actually, I'll go ahead and read it from here right now. So, arcane, to rule, begin, arc. It was shortly after noon in Washington, D.C. on January 20th, 1961, when Robert Frost, then 86 years old, tried to read a poem he had written from the inauguration of John F. Kennedy as President of the United States. But the bright sunlight on the new fallen snow blinded him, and he had to give it up. So he then recited a poem he had written some years before entitled The Gift Outright. The land was ours before we were the land's, he began, but we were England's, still colonials, possessing what we still were unpossessed by. England's ruler in the time of which he spoke was the monarch George III. But there was to be in his new land no monarchy or autarky, with a built-in autocratic, despotic ruler, no oligarchy, a government controlled by a few, no anarchy, a state without government or law. Those were, the founding fathers felt, archaic forms long out of date, obsolete, and antiquated. We would become instead a representative democracy, an archetype, that is, model, prototype, original, or exemplar for the world to look up to. Among humankind's earliest social groups were those based upon families, clans, or tribes. That reminds me of nepotism. Patriarchies were headed by the father, or patriarch. Matriarchies by the mother, or matriarch. Throughout the centuries that the human species has lived with social organizations, many positions of leadership have been so identified. A high priest or hierarch is at the top of the hierarchy, the ladder of rank and importance. An archbishop presides over an archbishopric or archdiocese and is followed by an archdeacon and then an archpriest. A chief angel is an archangel, as is a Russian port city north of Moscow named long ago for the archangel Michael and known to the Russians as archangelisks. Architects were originally thought of as the chief workers or builders or carpenters or artisans, none of which describes their task these days. An archipelago, a group or chain of islands, got its name from the Aegean Sea, which was sometimes called the Chief Sea. Important documents and records are kept in archives, a word stemming from archon, Greek for public office. The person in charge is archivist. Archaeology, also archaeology, is a study of antiquity of times long since past. In yesterday's world, there were great numbers of archduchesses and archdukes, the people in charge of the archducal matters of their archduchies or archdukedoms. An archconservative is someone who is extremely conservative, often biased, bigoted, and prejudiced against every racial, religious, and political group other than his own. Arch-enemy, arch-fiend, and arch-rival qualify as one or more of the following: adversary, nemesis, scoundrel, antagonist, or devil. An arch-smile is one that is playfully crafty, mischievous, or shy. Then it shows you these different forms and antonyms. And so over here in the Word Study Concordance, we see arche, and it's usually translated beginning, but there are exceptions. And then right here, Archiereus, the chief priest, like it showed you over there, like the hierarchy. So Archiereus. So and that means the high positions, the chief priests, the ones who apprehended Jesus and killed them. And over here, Archpoema, the chief shepherd, talking about Jesus. Over here, Archisunegagos, rulers of the synagogue. Architecton, master builder, are chief among the publicans. So there's these different forms of arche that are used. And I wanted to show you all these because it shows you how that there are these high positions and these people who actually do a lot of damage to people, and actually they hurt a lot of people because they favor these chief seats in these high places. I wanted to find that. I'm actually looking for that one right now. So like I want to find chief seats. Let me see if I can find it. So you see like Archo, ruler, and then Archon, ruler. And let me see. So what happens is these people have these high seats, or these chief seats, and then other people think that that's right, so they want them. It's really sad. Let me see. Archangel right there. There's Archangel. And we see that those survived in our English language. Let me see. I know that it is right here. So, chief priest, that's the prevailing one, it seems like. Chief among. Again. Let me see. I cannot find it right now. Like, this is really strange because oh, you know what? Wow, I'm in the wrong word. So yeah, okay, that word means beginning or first. Over here, it's proto. So proto-ecclesia is uppermost rooms, chief rooms, highest room. And then up here, chief seats in the synagogue, chief seats. So they give that to their people. And right here, like Proteuo, the Preeminence. And then this one is Protocathedria, so like a cathedral, right? And then Protoecclesia. So you see those right there. And proto means first. And that's where we get our word like prototype. So, and that's right here. And this is the dictionary now. So protopope, prototype, and you see how these are actually akin to that word proto in the Greek. So protos, first, martyr. Stephen's called the proto-martyr. And then you have over here like archangels and arch, apostate, arch, and this is chief. You see it's chief, and that's how it's translated over here in the word